The morning air hung thick with the aroma of burnt toast and yesterday's coffee, a hallmark of Georgie and Mandy's small, cluttered apartment. This was no idyllic beginning to a picture-perfect marriage, but for them, perfection had never been on the table. Georgie, with his perpetually rumpled hair and tendency to overthink everything, had fallen for Mandy, a woman who could make a crisis out of a stubbed toe, but who also laughed so hard at her own jokes that he couldn't help but join in. Their wedding had been a modest affair, held in the local community center, decorated with mismatched balloons and a cake that listed slightly to one side, much like their entire approach to life. On their first morning as a married couple, they sat in their kitchen, Mandy nibbling on a cold pancake while Georgie stared into his coffee, both of them feeling the weight of what they'd just done. It wasn't fear exactly, but an awareness that they were now tethered together, flaws and all. "Do you think we made a mistake?" Mandy asked, not looking up from her plate. Georgie considered this. "Probably, but we've made worse ones." They exchanged a look, both remembering the disastrous camping trip where they'd lost their tent in a river and ended up sleeping in a stranger's car. If they'd survived that, maybe marriage wouldn't be so bad. Life after the wedding didn't change much, except now there was a shared bank account to argue about and an ongoing debate about whose turn it was to take out the trash. Georgie's tendency to leave half-full glasses of water all over the apartment drove Mandy insane, while her habit of buying candles she never lit made Georgie question the stability of their budget. "We need a system," Mandy announced one evening, waving a color-coded chart she'd made. "We don't need a system, we need to stop trying to be people who use systems," Georgie countered, already knowing he'd lose this argument. Despite the small battles, there were also the quiet moments that made the messiness worthwhile. Watching terrible reality TV together, holding hands in the supermarket, or dancing in the living room to cheesy 90s music. Their love was not grand or cinematic, it was patched together with inside jokes and shared snacks. One particularly rough week, when Mandy lost her job and Georgie had a meltdown over a leaky ceiling, they found themselves sitting on their kitchen floor, eating ice cream straight from the tub. "I thought being married meant having your life together," Mandy said, voice muffled by a spoonful of Rocky Road. "I think it just means having someone to sit with you on the floor when you don't," Georgie replied. The thing about Georgie and Mandy was that they never pretended to be more functional than they were. They fought about stupid things, like the proper way to load a dishwasher or the ethics of pineapple on pizza, but they also made up just as easily, usually with a peace offering of snacks or a heartfelt, awkward apology. Their friends often joked that they were a walking sitcom, a pair of lovable disasters who somehow made it work. And maybe that was the point. They didn't thrive despite their flaws, but because of them. As their first year of marriage unfolded, it became clear that Georgie and Mandy's story wasn't about a perfect love, but a real one, where burnt toast, broken appliances, and the occasional existential crisis were all part of the deal. And somehow, in that beautiful chaos, they found exactly what they needed: each other.